Well, look at that. It's an AR-15. No kidding. We've all seen them a million times. There's a million videos about them. Everybody's got a rifle, but this one is mine. Um, Anybody who is wondering about the lower priced AR-15s that are out on the market, people say, well, you get what you pay for. Well, I'll tell you, I've seen very expensive guns not work very well. And, that's the point. The gun has to work. Yep, but everybody will say, oh, but you need a piston gun. Well, the Army tried an analysis of alternatives over piston guns, and they determined that the direct impingement system was good enough for the military, so I'm pretty sure it's good enough for me. I understand the science behind these things. I understand how they work. I understand everything about these on a level that's a little bit more than ridiculous. But direct impingement, it just works. And everyone's going to say, oh, but your gun's going to get really dirty. Yeah, it is. If I'm in some kind of a protracted gun battle where my gun goes down because it's dirty, I have bigger problems than a gun that doesn't work right. So, you know what? Absolutely. DI guns get real dirty really fast. I get it. But they will shoot a sustained string of fire, 500 or 600 rounds long, if you really need it to do it. Any gun can malfunction. It's a machine. There's too many variables, but these are just as reliable as the next gun. Well, what I do find fascinating with the new, I'm pretty old school, but I'm really taking to learning and practicing a new shooting style, the more squared-on shooting style that's become prevalent in the past, 10 or 15 years. And I didn't think there was much to it until I changed out. I put the BCM gunfighter grip on. The front stock and the rear stock are Magpul. I really like the BCM gunfighter Mod 3 with a straighter angle. When you're chicken winging a rifle, a more severe, or a less severe angle, or more, towards the rear end of the gun, that's acceptable. That's totally fine because it cocks your arm out, your chicken winging out, and your wrist is still in a straight line, squared off in front of a target, shortening that stock down, and your length of pull is decreased. It really cramps up on your wrist. And as I get older and the more time I spend behind a computer, because that's what I do, the more I find that I need all the help with my wrists I can get. So that's the reasoning behind it. Does it help? Yes, absolutely it helps. Does it feel good? It does. I think it helps me shoot the gun a lot better. If not a lot better, more comfortably. I can shoot longer, which means I can train better, I think. I'm more comfortable. So, your mileage may vary. Give it a try on your own. Okay, optics. I'm not going to spend a lot of time flipping guns around and showing you every aspect of it and shaking you to death and giving you seasickness here. Basically what it boils down to is the gun came with a standard A2 front post, carbine length, and it came up with a plastic flip-up rear. Okay, cool. They stay because they work. Yep, plastic. Oh, I'll never have plastic on my rifle. Well, you know what? For the likelihood that I'm going to need my backup irons versus red dots, which have been in service for a long time in the military, and people have beaten the crap out of them, this particular one was purchased because of the recommendation of a friend of mine who works for SIG, and he works and trains up at the academy. All the student guns have this on there. If you want a test bed for an optic or anything, give it to a student, run it through a school for a while. This is the Romeo 5. Got a great deal on it. It's got the movement on-off, which is a great feature, which helps you preserve battery, and it's a pretty good deal. 2 MOA dot, nothing special, 20 millimeter exit pupil. Real simple, real quick, real lightweight, aluminum bodied, very durable, SIG lifetime warranty product. It's a good product. Great deal. Got it at opticsplanet.com for a steal. If you're looking for one of these sites, definitely check out Optics Planet. Call them on the phone and work on them a little bit. They'll come down in price. They're real good, fast shipping. I got it in 2 days after I ordered it. It was fantastic, fantastic deal. Okay, Ruger is really this is a Ruger gun, by the way. This whole gun is Ruger. The heart and soul of the gun stays Ruger. Nothing changes over factory, and we'll get to that in a second. Ruger did something very clever, which will help you out. They put a turn lock, a threaded delta ring. You turn it towards the receiver to loosen up the handguard so you can take these on, put them on and off. You don't need that silly wrench anymore. Just crank it on and off by hand and hand tighten it, and it's just a revelation. It's great. Okay, so this is a Ruger AR-556. This is not an expensive gun. It's not a fancy gun. It's a gas-operated, direct impingement, AR-15. There's nothing to it other than that. It has a 16-inch cold hammer forged barrel, non-chrome lined 1 in 8 twist, so it's going to give you the balance of being able to shoot the heavy and the light bullets. It's middle of the road. It's going to give you that average performance that you're looking for, which is good. Doesn't do one thing in particularly well. It does all things pretty good. The Ruger manufactured A2 style flash hider. Does it work? Yeah, it works. It's just there. I don't care about that. That means nothing to me. Okay, A2 front sight. A little bit different gas block. You can't see it. It's pinned on top, not on the bottom, so that's not like a mil-spec part. But everything else, for the most part, seems to be a very high quality, good fit and finish. Comes from the factory, very heavily lubricated with some kind of dastardly sticky nonsense. Is it a bad oil? Probably not. I'm sure it's fairly good. But there was just a lot of it. And so I cleaned the whole gun out. I used brake cleaner to get it cleaned out, degreased the entire thing. And then I went to work relubing it, after I was satisfied the gun had been cleaned thoroughly and stripped of all the factory lubricant. I went through and I cleaned the gun, relubricated it, and I don't use... I tend not to use gun products as much as automotive products. My gun lube that I use for an oil is basically automatic transmission fluid. It's high-grade oil with detergent, so it's self-cleaning. And it suspends the particles pretty good, and you can flush them away pretty easy. It doesn't let anything really adhere. That's perfect. So everything gets a very light coat of that. But on the real stress points, in the ways, and this gun, the bolt ways, it rides in 4 ways. 11 o'clock and 7 o'clock and 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. That gets AMSOIL, automotive, heavy duty, spray grease on the ways, and not a little bit. This gun is really well lubricated. The bolt head where it goes into the bolt, that got some lithium grease, some lighter weight grease, and everything else got some lubricant. But this gun, believe it or not, is really, really, really wet on the inside. That's how I like to shoot them. Are people going to argue with me? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you don't have to lubricate it. You shoot that gun dry. It'll stay cleaner. Yeah, maybe. Okay, I've shot a lot of rounds out of these things. I've fixed a lot of them. I've built even more of them. I'm here to tell you there's a couple of different schools of thought, and I don't think either one is absolutely correct. I just like to lubricate parts that are made of metal, especially steel and aluminum, that rub together quite well, for the safety of my firearm. This is a good investment. I want to keep it. As it so happens, it's such a good investment. The gun shoots it hovers around an inch at 100 yards with good ammunition. I have some hand loads that I have that I made. Gun shoots really, really good. 5-shot groups. Generally, the first three real good group after I got done screwing around. When I settled down and put a good optic on it at 100, first 3 shots were in one ragged hole. My 4th shot opened the gun up to, opened the group up to, 3/4 of an inch, and my last shot opened the group up just a hair more than that. So we're talking about 1-inch gun, out of the factory, out of the box, just cleaned, relubed, and cosmetic changes to the gun for comfort. Okay? This is a home defense gun. I'm not going to change anything. The damn thing works. The trigger, this trigger is horrible. It is horrible. It stacks. It's gritty. It's heavy. It's a battle rifle trigger. It's not a match trigger. It's a good fighting trigger because, who cares? Contact distance, bang, bang. This is just fine. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to change anything. It's a battle rifle. I'm not going to play with that because I know that works. Let's see, the SL handguards. Tomorrow there's a light kit coming that'll put a stream light out here. Standard push button tail cap is what I'm going to use because sometimes I might want to turn that light on, leave it on. Even on the gun, I know, oh, you're making yourself a target, you shouldn't walk around with that, whatever, blow it out your ass. My concept of operations might be different than yours. This gun is not, I'm not going to war, it's my house, okay? And if I'm in contact distance with somebody, the light's going to be left the fuck on. That's just the way that's going to go. That's it. I know a lot of people are going to say all sorts of nasty shit in the comments because they think they know everything or they know more than me. That could very well be the case, and God bless you if you do. You know what? But this is just kind of a beginner's premiere on how you can just take a standard rifle that you don't have to spend a fortune on. This gun was $600. That's it, $600. And you can get yourself a really solid AR-15. You're going to have to put money in it if you want new furniture. This stuff costs money. This is not, free. But it doesn't have to cost a fortune to get what you want either. You don't have to spend $1,800 on a gun. Spend the rest of that money on training and ammunition because that's where it all matters anyways. What you have here in the Ruger AR-556 is a very reliable, more accurate than it should be, basically mil-spec-ish gun. Yes, it's not a mil-spec gun. It is not a mil-spec gun. There are parts to this gun that are not mil-spec. But where it counts, the gun is built properly. And I'm here to tell you, I'd trust my life to this rifle because it works. Well, bye everybody, and let the discussion begin, I suppose.